The idea of keeping this premise for like...
Would you say it fits with the Halloween theme?
Oh, but
I would say no, just. I would have said no, just in spite of this.
It's Dracula. You're like, nah, not really. No.
No, yeah.
But so...
Yeah, I thought like when I saw Yellow Wallpaper just by itself, it was a very thin book. Then I saw this one, I'm like, hold on.
No, this is a collection of stories of which I only read the Yellow Wallpaper. And I want to read all the other ones because I really like how that one was written. And
if it's your theme of reading books about colours.
Yes,
also.
exactly. I did the green lady, and now I'm doing the yellow book, and next one is going to be Bluettes, which is blue book. But this one is amazing because yellow is the color that I associate with madness. I think most people associate yellow with madness, and this is what the story is about, basically. It's this woman who just had a child, and basically from what you gather it's all from her point of view. What she says about herself is, from what you gather with a modern point of view, is she's probably going through postpartum depression.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But the book is set not in a non-specific past, let's say. I like to imagine it as a Victorian time. But basically, her husband is a physician, in the sense of a doctor, basically.
Okay.
And so is her brother. And she is going through all these things through all this depression, basically. She feels restless in certain cases. She's very sad in other cases. But the interesting thing is that all the things that her husband does to cure her are exactly the opposite of what she wants. So she wants to go out and meet people and they tell her, no, you have to stay enclosed in a room. She wants to write to kind of get her thoughts out, and everything. No, it's too much excitement for you, that you shouldn't. She wants to be in the city. No, we go to the countryside and we get this cottage for 3 months. And we get this cottage, and we're gonna stay there because the country is really good for you. She wants to stay in a specific room. They're like, no, room is better for you.
much
better. She hates...
No creo.
No creo.
All right, we're not going to explain that one.
We'll explain that in a future time. But she is confined into this room, and the first thing that she thinks about this was basically the nursery of the family that was there before, which is also kind of metaphoric because everybody's treating her like a child who cannot make her own decision. They're basically, everything she says, they're basically laughing it off and say, oh, you poor little woman, you don't understand what's good for you.
Which is how we talk to women.
Yes, very, very... It's basically mansplaining. Like, her husband is constantly... Not only that, but he's not there ever. He's constantly traveling for his work. So she's left there mostly by herself. In this room, there is a nursery in which the first thing she says is, I hate this wallpaper. Because all around the room there is this very old yellow wallpaper, and she says it's the ugliest thing ever. It's got this motif that is impossible to understand. It's got mushrooms and eyes and things everywhere, and it's obnoxious. It's ripped in certain places. It's discolored. It's got this horrid yellow color, and she has to change it. And her husband is like, first he thinks about it and is like, but then if we change that, then you're gonna want to change the bars in the window, and then you're gonna want to change the carpet on the
bars
floor.
on the window.
Yes, because it was a nursery, so everything is like child-proofed, basically, which is another thing of her being basically trapped in here.
I guess you would have bars and windows in some countries as well.
In Italy, to be fair.
I am thinking of some places in Mexico.
Yeah, as well.
Safety, got a lock up.
But they say specifically because it was a nursery. The bed is bolted to the ground, for example, and all these things.
They just have a straight jacket in there as well.
Yeah, that was just the only thing missing. But basically, she's trapped here for most of the time, and she cannot do much. You just need to rest. You just need to rest. And she is like bored out of her mind, and she sneaks up writing while she can. And that is what the writing is. The story is from her point of view, from this writing that she's sneakily making. And it's very interesting because slowly this wallpaper becomes the only thing that she can study. There is nothing else for her to do. Her husband is not there. She doesn't get to talk to anybody. And she keeps looking at this wallpaper. And slowly she sees that underneath this horrid pattern that seems like it keeps changing and it keeps moving.
This is what I remember, yeah.
There is another pattern. And this pattern is also moving constantly. And slowly she starts to see figures in this wallpaper underneath. And she sees specifically the figure of a woman moving around. And it seems like it's a thing that happens to her. Even when she was a child, she was seeing things in like faces in patterns and like that. But this becomes her sole source of entertainment, basically, to the point that she doesn't want to go out of the room as much anymore. But you don't, because the narration is all from her point of view, you don't understand it right away. And then she sees this woman going out of the pattern herself, trying to go out of the pattern herself, and she tries to go out and she keeps getting choked by this pattern. She cannot get herself free. She keeps she's stuck there. She only goes out at night, and you see her. Exactly. And you see her like crawling around. I can see her crawling around and out of my window, and she is out of all of my windows at once, and she's creeping. And then slowly you see that she starts talking about this woman like it's herself. Yes. Because she says, I can only creep in my room, you know. And then slowly she starts speaking in first person about the woman trap. And she's like, maybe it's many women, maybe it's just one woman. And you kind of understand that she's talking about herself a lot, basically. And at the very end of this, she wants to free this woman. So she starts peeling off the wallpaper. And she doesn't want to get out of this room anymore. The yellowness of this wallpaper is a presence that permeates everything. She smells it, she sees it on her hands. It's like controlling her whole life. And then basically she doesn't want, when it's the moment to get out of the room, she doesn't want to. She hides a rope, she ties herself to the room, she doesn't want to leave. She throws the key outside, and her husband is trying to break down the door. Finally he can open the door, and he sees her crawling around the room and tied with a rope to the bed, and she is basically, she's going insane. But from a point of view, it's completely normal. He is weird, to the point that when he faints, she says, now I have to crawl on top of him to get to the other side of the room, and he's in the way. And that's how the whole thing ends.
So I remember, I read this 20 years ago. I was like 13, maybe 14, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. But I'm looking at the book now. It is only like, what, 20, 25 pages?
It's, 21.
It's a really short story.
2021.
I remember thinking that it was like a really great portrayal of someone slowly losing their mind.
Yeah.
Does that come across as slow despite the short length?
I think so, in the sense that you know the time that she's there. She tells you from the beginning, we're here for 3 months. So it's really good at giving you a time frame in which everything happens.
It's like a Shining style.
Basically.
But that's why I bring it up. When I then tried to watch The Shining, I thought, I held it to the standard of this. And I was like, well, I want it to be this slow losing of the mind, and it happens way too quickly.
That is the main critique of the Kubrick Shining, because Jack Nicholson is just Jack Nicholson, and he's already crazy at the beginning, essentially.
Yeah,
and he goes very quickly, like even
very
more overboard.
Crazy, yeah.
It's harder to have that type of jump. That's one of the things about the TV series version, which is not good, but you do see the character actually getting more and more insane.
That's what I wanted.
Time.
Yeah.
So you have a better.
Did you read the book?
I've not.
No.
I'm assuming the book does that.
I've never read that much Stephen King. I tried it. I didn't like the style. A few pages in, I gave up.
I've only read one King book, and it was something like the dragon painting or something, tapestry. I Eyes of the Dragon. I don't remember. But it was actually a quite good book.
In his voice note, PJ mentioned that the first year of the show we did recommendations as well as reviews. That was where we would not have read something recently. We'd recommend, like, I remember years ago I read this book and I'm going to recommend it. And this was one of the first books I recommended, The Yellow Wallpaper, because I thought it was this great memory I had of this really slow, going insane, and I really loved it. So, does it hold up? Is it good?
It's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
I could have, if it had been longer, I would have still enjoyed it, I think.
Do we give it a...
Yeah.
I'm switching between the wolf sound effect and the yeah, and it takes some time, unfortunately.